Hello and welcome to another video session of Geek Will. We're going to talk about variable, the mathematical variable, the variable that you use in mathematics, the algebraic variable, etc, etc. Afterwards, we're going to talk about algebraic expression, and when you understand the clear picture of algebraic expression, we're going to quickly jump to algebraic equation. Okay, so these are the three things that we're going to do quickly. Alright, let's get rid of that first. The word variable, if I write it down like that, this bit only, vary. This word vary means to change. That means variable is something that is changeable, that can change. For example, 1 can never be equals to 2, right? 3 can never be equals to 5. Their values are fixed, they can never change, right? On the contrary, if I say the number of pizza restaurants in your city, they can be 5, right? Or they can be 10. They can be any number depending on your location, right? So this is something that can take on different values. Its value is not fixed. We can say that it is a variable, right? Another example could be the number of students. The number of students in your class, right? The number of students in your class can be 5, can be 10, can be 15, can be 30. It can take on any of those values. So that means its value is not fixed. And for the things whose value is not fixed, or whose value can vary, or whose value can changeable, we call them variable. Simple. Okay. Another very important thing. Whenever you are going to use them in your algebraic expression, we're going to talk about that in a bit. Let's say whenever you're going to use variables in mathematics, you have to, it's preferred that if you use a symbol instead of using the whole sentence phrase, like the number of students in my class, right? Instead of calling this whole thing, let's assign it equals to an alphabet. So wherever I want to use this thing, I can use that alphabet instead. So let's say it is equals to A, right? So if I want to represent the number of students in my class, which are, let's say, 30, I can say that A equals to 30, right? Instead of saying this whole thing, I can just say that A is equals to 30. Why? Because I assigned it that the number of students in my class is equals to A. Another example could be the pizza restaurant. Okay, let's not talk about that. Something different. Maybe, the number of football players in my school, right? The number of football players in my school, let's call it F. Okay, and if there are 15 players, instead of calling this whole thing that the number of football players in my school equals to 15, I can just say F equals to 15. Right? So far we got the concept of what a variable is, how we can assign it equals to a symbol, and how we can represent that symbol with the value. Like we can represent the whole variable, whatever it's equals to, with that symbol, just with what we assigned it equals to. It could be a symbol, could be alphabet. Most preferably we use alphabets. Okay, let's take that away. Now moving on to the second thing that we're going to discuss is the algebraic expression. Okay, what's algebraic expression? It is something which is made up of three things: variable, operator, we're going to talk about that soon, and a constant. If you don't know about that, we're going to talk about that too. Operator could be any of these four things: plus, minus, multiply, or divide. Preferably we're going to use this thing or that maybe. Constant. this is constant. Constant could be any number. That's it. Constant is any number, because what's constant is something which cannot vary. It's the opposite of variable. Its value is fixed. Its value cannot change, like 1. 1 can never be equals to 2. 2 can never be equals to 5, right? Their values are fixed. So the constant, like 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And the variable, you already know that. You already have a clear picture of variable. Let's presume that you have a clear picture of variable by now. So let's try to make an algebraic expression. We have a variable, let's say a, then an operator. We can pick any of these. Let's say a minus and any number, a minus 3. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say Steve is 1 feet taller than his younger brother. Write an expression for his height. Okay, this is if I want to do that. The first thing first, we're gonna say let height of younger brother equals to h. Now, why I assigned the variable to the height of the younger brother? Because we don't know that, right? It could be anything. He could be 4 feet tall, he could be 5 feet tall, God knows, he could be 6 feet tall. That way Steve would be very tall. But anyways, we don't know this thing, so we assigned the unknown to the variable h. Okay, and now we have to just write down a rule for Steve's height. So we can say that Steve's height will be h plus 1. And this bit, this rule, that whatever the younger brother height would be, just add 1 to that to get Steve's height. This bit only is what you call the algebraic expression, right? Okay, so now if you got that, we're gonna just quickly do our last thing for today, which is the algebraic equation. Now, one might ask, what is the difference between the algebraic expression and algebraic equation? An algebraic expression has a variable, an operator, and a constant. But the algebraic equation, it also has an equality sign. Or in other words, in words actually, it should be like equality, and it equals to something. For example, a variable, let's say a, an operator, let's say plus, a constant, let's say 2, equals to, let's say 0. This is what you call an algebraic equation. Recall our previous example. I'm going to take that way quickly. Recall this previous example that we just did. If I assign this thing equals to Steve's height, this becomes an algebraic equation. Now I can even say let Steve's height equals to s. So I can say that s equals to h plus 1, right? This is what you can call an algebraic equation. And that's about it. This is pretty much what you have to understand about algebraic equation. The point to consider over here is that you will be always given this thing, the h, which you will be using. Okay, for example, if I alter this question, if I alter this question, it should be something like that. If you have to solve it for an algebraic equation, his younger brother, it should be something like that then. And his younger brother is, let's say 4 feet tall. Write an equation for his height. Now, this is the type of question I'm speaking specifically for Year 7 and Year 6 students, because for the students who are 8th grade or onward, they might be tackling this situation. Or there might be some 6th graders, 7th graders who might have this situation as well. Just post your questions in the comment box if you don't understand anything. But this is when you have two different types of variable. We're going to cover that in a separate lecture as well, what it means when we have two different variables in an equation. Like in this case, Steve's height is the younger brother's height plus 1. Now for this question, I actually changed the question. For this question, I'm going to say that height of Steve, because we're going to write down equation for his height, and we already know the youngest brother height, which is no longer an unknown. So I can say that height of Steve is equals to h. Then I can just say that h equals to 4 plus 1. And that's pretty much it. This is what you call the algebraic equation. Let me know if you have any confusion. Post your question in the comment box. Follow us on Facebook, like our channels. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.